Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment, and make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight, I want to talk about something that could be of great importance when it comes to controlling the intensity and the sort of experience you want in your tabletop RPG sessions. I'm going to talk about the use of first person and third person in tabletop role playing game sessions. There is certainly a degree of control placed over the intensity of the session, depending on how much you utilize first person or third person. In your average tabletop RPG session, it is perfectly fine to roleplay in the first person or in the third person. That is, you could do it first person. I attempt this, I do that, I try this. Or you could do it in the third person. Let's say you are playing as Joe the Warlock. Joe does this, Joe attempts this, Joe tries that. Third person. And what's the difference, and how is it related to the intensity? If you play a session completely in first person, you are the closest you can get to the character. The way that you embody that character is so intimate. So it is no wonder that during moments of great tension, and this has happened to me as well. That is, when many years back, when I played as a player character, it happened to me as well. When you're in moments of great danger, um, any sort of thing that makes you fear for your character's life, or perhaps during a very crucial moment or situation, you psychologically, unintentionally, try to distance yourself from the situation. And this is funny because it also happens in real life. In let's say a real combat situation, when you are fighting, you need to be there in the moment, in the now. You cannot fool around. You cannot like drift away from the fight, from the how lively the battle situation is, because you're going to get your ass kicked, punched, destroyed. You're going to get destroyed. And in tabletop RPGs, you also subconsciously experience that tension, and sometimes you distance yourself from the character. So maybe I'm running a game for my players, the player characters suddenly get into a really awful combat encounter with some horrible monsters, and the situation is not going well. And not always, but sometimes they go into third person. The For whatever reason, the player sometimes goes into third person. So instead of saying I do this, I do that, I thrust, I parry, I attack, etc. The Joe the Warlock, they go into third person. But if you that's very important. And I do this with almost all of my Dungeons and Dragons style of sessions. I make it so that roleplay constantly happens in first person. Third person is not allowed. And that way they are always there, and you actually feel you have no idea the magic, the excitement, the intensity that you experience, that you can experience from so many legendary dungeons, like the Tomb of Horrors, Temple of Elemental Evil, because you feel as if you're constantly there. All of those traps, all of those dangers, all of those enemies, it feels so intense. But and this also works with dungeons that you create on yourself, or adventure sites, forests, mountains, the sea, whatnot. And what about third person? Third person is perfect when you want to recreate an experience where you are watching the characters for afar. It is still roleplay, but you are watching your own character as if it were like a TV show or anime series. That's why in most of my anime sessions, I always allow the use of both third and first person. And you could be thinking, wouldn't it be better to allow only third person. That's another way to do it. But I want the players, sometimes the players, they want to experience that intensity. And they, in those moments of anime greatness, anime glory, they want to feel as if they are there in the anime world, like completely not playing the role of a character in a series. They want to experience the reality as if it is real to them. So they experience the game world in the most intimate way possible by speaking in first person, by describing the action rather of the character in first person, describing the action. You can speak in character, of course, or describe what your character is saying. But there are also moments when the player wants to look at things as if he was watching his favorite anime series. And like I've said many times, do not confuse this with thinking that the characters, unless they are handling a breaking the fourth wall style, the characters are not performing for an audience. They actually think that their world is real. Like Dragon Ball, right? Any anime series, Dragon Ball, Messenger Z, Saint Seiya. I don't like that show, but One Piece, any of those anime series, the characters, they actually consider the world where they live to be real. They do not think that people are watching them through a television set, unless, like I said, there are those breaking the fourth wall moments. So, third person is perfect for you to watch your character from afar while still playing a role, while still describing the actions of the character, but you're still experiencing the game world as the character. But these are two ways to do it: either embodying the character completely or having that surreal moment where you are both taking action and expectating, observing the character. So no matter your choice, I highly recommend that you consider whether it is worth it for a particular session or campaign to use only first person or to use only third person or a combination of both. Both. Like I said, in my case, anything that is a bit grittier, I prefer to use first person all the time. If it's more anime cartoonish, third person and first person, that way the player can enjoy either going into first person or third person when he wants to watch the character, so to speak, his own character. But if you are playing a storytelling tabletop RPG hybrid, that's also great. It's also great to introduce third person for those storytelling moments. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. You can also check out the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you and see you later.